How's your training going, Adam? It's not. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam, this is Enduring Daddy, where we talk about all things endurance sport through the lens of a new dad, and today we're going to be talking about fitness lulls and how to bounce back to your training program when you've had a quite significant period out of action. So today we're going to be looking at the reasoning behind fitness lulls. We're going to be looking at the impact on your body and your training going forward having had a fitness lull, and we're also going to look at how you can counter that and how you can motivate yourself to bounce back from these types of fitness lulls. Fitness lulls, unfortunately, or fitness downtimes, or just periods of laziness like I've had, are really common and really difficult to bounce back from. I've had about 4 weeks off from the triathlon, and in reality I've been out twice for a run since. I went out the week after and I went out last week, which would have been 4 weeks since the triathlon, and the week after was fine. I was still a little sore from the race itself. Last week was not so fine. I was running at what was normally my 5k pace in training, and usually my heart rate would be around zone 2, zone 3 for the sort of pace I was running. And last week I was running about the same pace, and it was literally bouncing off the red line. About zone 5, zone 6, really struggling to maintain a level heartbeat. My body just wasn't cut out for it. It's seriously been impacted by 4 weeks of next to no exercise, very poor diet, and really letting myself go. Now, what this in turn means is that I've reverted back somewhat, and I've got numerous events coming up probably early next year they start, and I've now got to start my training from a few steps back rather than where I was in my, relative to me, peak condition running up to the triathlon on the 19th of September. So unfortunately life got in the way. I said to myself that after the race I was going to start reining it back a little bit so that I could be a bit more present for Theo in his sort of moments of progression, because obviously at 3-4 months he's really starting to get the whole tummy time and becoming more chatty in himself, and I want to be there for that and to encourage that and to motivate that progression. So I always said that my free time that I wasn't working or busy, I was going to be spending with him more than I was out training, which was fine, but unfortunately I took that to another level and suddenly bang, done nothing for best part of 4 weeks. So what impact has that had? So obviously I said the impact on my heart rate is significant. It's jumped up 3 heart rate zones to literally bouncing off that zone 5 into zone 6 to a certain extent, which is bad. Now, how long is it going to take me to get back from that? Well, with some varied training in the pool, running, hopefully not too long. Planning on starting to integrate a lot more mobility and strength work into my training, and throughout winter I'll be out on the trails again, pounding the miles through the night, obviously taking advantage of the quiet nighttime evenings with a head torch and a running vest on. Massive fan of running out on the trail at night. Obviously trying to further integrate progression on the bike and the swimming as well going into next year. So what impact has 4 weeks off training had on me personally? Well, my heart rate, my resting heart rate's gone from about 61, 62 beats per minute to more like 64, 66. Using the Garmin to track that, I find that I am feeling sore actually more. And I don't know whether or not that's just stagnation or whether or not it's because I've got quite a streaming cold. Thank you, Theo. Babies are like illness magnets. Look forward to that if you haven't got one yet. And also out of breath. Just doing general things. I find I'm out of breath faster than I wouldn't have been out of breath when I was actually full-time training. So I think it's absolutely got a detrimental impact on your heart. I think your heart genuinely ticks differently. I think your overall mood is lessened, and obviously then I've caught myself a cold. The fact that I've caught a cold is probably down to the fact that Theo is going to be catching everything and anything throughout the early years of his life. But also I think the fact that I haven't been keeping myself in tip-top condition over the recent months probably has a part to play in that as well. So how do you counter it? It's really, really difficult. I think a lot of it comes down to a real drive and overcommitment to fitness training throughout the pandemic. I think since February 2020 and that acquisition of that bike and then really throwing myself into it, I've really tried to maintain that momentum. And I think with anything, after a while, you just get a bit fed up with it. It just becomes a bit much, and I needed a break. Now, my aspiration was to take a break for about a week after the race. So it happens, it's 4 and a bit weeks later now, and that is problematic. So I now need to bounce back, and to do that, I'm going to focus on 3 main things. Setting myself reasonable goals, and with that I'm talking about fitness goals, so driving my running ability in terms of getting my 5k time down, my 10k time down, my half marathon time down, signing up for races. So as it stands, I've committed myself to run a half marathon in March, a Olympic distance triathlon for the 2nd time in June, and then a half Ironman in September next year. I've also committed myself to do a Tough Mudder for the first time ever, and a number of other fitness challenges, you could say, between now and March, to ensure that I'm mixing it up throughout my training programs and not just rigorously running with a peppering of cycling and swimming. I'm actually driving towards miniature events in the drive towards that half marathon as my first goal in March. And also, obviously, setting up this YouTube channel has been a real incentive to start focusing more and more on my fitness and to have content that you're interested in watching. If you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button if you are interested in following the journey. If you like this video or any of the other videos, please do remember to hit the like button if you can and you're happy to, because it really does help the channel grow. And also investing in new gear, so new running shoes, new t-shirts. I think when you go out and buy new kit, you're really motivated to start driving the focus towards improving and progressing towards your goals. So they're probably the 3 things. Setting yourself reasonable targets, setting yourself targets in terms of actually booking races, and then investing in new kit, new equipment, new gear. So as an example, my trail running shoes are teetering on the edge of the 400-mile sort of, you should probably consider changing them limit now. And as we progress towards the winter months, I will start investing in some new kit, and trail running shoes will probably be the first piece of equipment I buy. And then looking at other pieces of kit in terms of race vests, and I'll be doing numerous reviews of any kit that I do buy, as always. For those of you interested in how the channel's progressing, I've got a couple of other videos coming up in the not too distant future around that, including a review of a new laptop. Yes, I put my hand in my pocket and begrudgingly forked out quite a substantial sum of money for a new MacBook Pro so that I could spend more time editing better videos for you guys. And as soon as that arrives in the next couple of weeks, I will be doing an unboxing of that also. And once again, those challenges that I mentioned before coming up over the coming months, I'll be documenting those, absolutely. Also want to say a big thank you to you. I have absolutely been blown away by the progression of this channel. I've now got 2,400 views across my videos in just a couple of months, which to a lot of people probably doesn't sound like very much, but actually to me it's really, really humbling to know that so many people have been in and viewed my content. It makes me want to create more content for the channel. If you're interested in watching the unboxing for the GoPro Hero 10 that I'm talking to you on right now, I'll stick that video up here. If you're interested in hearing how I've modified the GoPro Hero 10 through the GoPro Media Mod and the Rode Video Micro microphone to ensure that the sound quality is as you hear it now and not just the acoustics of the entire house that I'm sitting in, then I'll stick that video down here. And once again, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.